Ooh, what's up, Internet? This is the non-spoiler review for Shang-Chi, the latest movie from the MCU. My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Yeah. That is right. Welcome back to another Should You Watch Shang-Chi video. It's our first Shang-Chi one, but we've reviewed some movies.
Yes, we have.
We've seen some films.
We have definitely talked about movies on this channel before if you've never been here. It's a lot of it.
Shang-Chi is the latest film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This one is starring Simu Liu and Awkwafina, as well as Michelle Yeoh. And, you know, I'm going to pull up the whole cast, and I actually forgot the director's name. So let's pull that up. But while I do that, how'd you feel about it? Big, broad thoughts.
Big, broad thoughts. So, obviously, this is no spoilers. However, I think Shang-Chi is my new favorite Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm. You said that.
I didn't say it here.
No, you said that on our fan house. fanhouse.com/nerdy nightly. There's a plug.
You crushed
behind the scenes.
You crushed it.
Let's do it.
No, I literally I literally had like a tear roll down my cheek because this movie was so beautiful and touching and wonderful, and I just want to go see it again.
Yeah, so Shang-Chi stars Simu Liu and Awkwafina, like I said. It also stars Menger Zhang, I hope I pronounced that right, Fala Chen, Florian Montanu, that one's a spoiler, Michelle Yeoh, that one's a spoiler, and Tony Leung. It was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and cinematography by William Pope. I really liked this movie quite a lot. I had a really good time with it. I don't know if it's my favorite Marvel movie. That's tough for me. I like certain movies more than you do.
Yeah.
Particularly, like, I know Winter Soldier is not your favorite.
Previously my favorite Marvel movie was Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm. I think that what we talked about leaving the theater that worked for both of us was that this film is really rooted in familial tradition and in the generational trauma, right? I think that there's an interesting story that's told about love and loss and grief and family and how all those things are intermingled in a way that really set this movie apart a little bit from other MCU movies, in that the main character has a family. That's not always the case. Well, if you think about our original Avengers, like the only one whose family of the original Avengers, I'm pretty sure the only one whose family we meet is
it's also a Disney
Tony Stark
thing.
in flashbacks, and but this is comics. Like this is from the comics. This is a lot of those stories are from the comics. We meet obviously Thor's family, not that that's a very functional family. Shang-Chi is a movie about family.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful because of it.
Yeah, this movie, they care so much about their characters. And what we had said is that it's not... A lot of the times, Marvel movies, like, here's your superhero. They're going to be really fleshed out and well-rounded. They're going to have an arc, and we're just going to give everything to them. Shang-Chi is different in the fact that it gives you multiple characters that you care about, that have dark and light sides, that have just incredible journeys throughout this whole film, and you really there's a lot of love. There's a lot of love and also a lot of loss and hurt and how people deal with emotions in this movie, and it was beautifully done. None of it was pandery or like in your face, or I guess the writing is good and they don't just say the thing. They really do show it.
There's a lot of subtext in this film.
Yes.
And I also really appreciated how much of the film was in I believe Chinese. I don't speak the language, so I'm not sure.
Pretty sure
because
Awkwafina is like, oh, my Chinese isn't that great.
But I really appreciated how much of the film was subtitles.
Yeah.
And that there were moments where characters would be having a conversation in Chinese and they would switch to English for very deliberate character reasons. I sometimes find it really frustrating in something like when we saw Snake Eyes. I feel like there's a lot of comparisons you could make to Snake Eyes here.
Yeah, this is the way better version.
But literally is like the better version of that movie, right?
Yeah.
But there were so many times in Snake Eyes where I was like, why is everyone in here speaking English? Like, I didn't really get it. Whereas in this movie, they did a better job of seeding in the fact that these characters speak both languages, and they use both languages for different kinds of communication.
Yeah.
And I thought that made it accessible to a American audience where this film was produced, while also being a little bit more like culturally ingrained in the world that it's trying to be influenced by and come out of a little bit. I thought that was really beautiful, and I thought that all of the actors did such a beautiful job portraying that. At the center of this movie, really, though, is Shang-Chi. And if we're going to be talking about the characters, we're going to be talking about the actors, we have to bring up how incredibly charismatic he is in this movie.
Yeah.
Simu Liu, his persona in the film is so magnetic from the very first moment that you see him that it was really wild. Like he has a couple of just smiles early in the movie that really drew me in, and I was like, oh, I give a shit about you. Like I really did. And I it's hard to say whether or not that's because the marketing leading up to this had been like, look at this guy, he's really great and kind and sweet and like genuine and Canadian. But in the movie, he really does a good job selling the conflict within Shang-Chi, as well as just the kind of joy and the there's like an arms wide openness about his vibe. That really draws the characters around to him, and sets up why he makes a good hero.
100%. I don't think I have actually seen him in anything else.
I have not. This is the first, because I've never seen an episode of Kim's Convenience.
I never watched the show. But he was incredible. He was magnetic. He was lovable and also strong, and like, I don't think you could have found a more perfect person. And that being said, casting Awkwafina to play off of him, the two of them together were
great.
Next level. She is hilarious, and knows when to like give him shit, but also like they have all these beautiful moments together as well, and so you felt like they had this real relationship that you were watching.
I also appreciated, she goes along for the ride, right? And I totally bought it. Like there's times where I'm like, leave your friend at home. And with her, I was like, you couldn't if you tried. And I appreciated the way that they set that up early in the film, so that her being there throughout the film was justified. There's so many things I want to talk about other actors, but I really don't want to get into spoilers. So if you want to know what we thought about some of the other actors in the film and the parts that they played, there's one in particular that the marketing has been interesting. And once you see the movie, it opens your eyes to the real world of the film, and you're like, oh. And I thought that was really cool. So come back for the spoiler chat to hear about that, because I don't want to spoil it here. It is something that like you should experience in the movie for yourself, because I think this movie is really worth experiencing. Yes,
it is the most beautiful movie I think I've ever seen. The one thing that I will always bring back to is The Lord of the Rings is a beautiful series of movies, because it's all done like practically, and
this one was too, actually. All of the CGI in this movie wasn't CGI, it was real.
It was real.
It was real.
100%. No,
they found a real dragon.
But the that movie will always like be like the peak beauty to me in terms of filmmaking. But this one is different. It's less about these like beautiful rolling landscapes and the practical effects. This one, the CGI and the practical stuff was woven together so flawlessly. The colors were stunning. The magic was like captivating, and it's kind of a spoiler, so I can't really talk about it, but there's like something that the design of it was just so cool that I like it brought tears to my eyes. Like it just, I don't know, whoever was the like design team for this movie, you get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, there's a lot of really creative use of the world. It's tough. This one's tough to talk about, because even some of the design choices are built into spoilers, and I really don't want to spoil this for someone who wants to see this movie fresh.
Go see it in a theater. Do yourself the favor if you can, and if you can do it safely, see it in a theater. because it is well worth seeing on the big screen.
We saw it in a pretty packed theater, and it was so fun to laugh with other people. Because there's a lot of laughs in this movie. There is a lot of comedy. I know that there are people who fault the MCU for that, and this is going to be another movie that has that.
Oh, no, it was amazing.
And, well, yeah, but, you know, different sentiments, right? And I think that if that kind of, like, MCU comedy styling doesn't work for you, that might legitimately be a criticism that some people levy towards the movie. I think that in this movie, it was a lot more character-based than in some other Marvel movies.
Yeah, it was...
And there were different styles of comedy coming from different characters, as opposed to it all being quips. There was a lot of comedy in this movie that wasn't just, like, one-liners. And I really appreciated that. There was some cultural comedy. There was definitely some, like characters having inside jokes from their relationship kind of comedy that I really appreciated.
And there were also a lot of real moments.
Yeah.
Real, like, human reactions to things that were hilarious.
Yeah. What was I about to say? I don't know. I don't know where to go from here with this. I think that, like, the place to go is spoilers.
Yeah.
So I think that we should leave this off by saying, should you go see Shang-Chi?
Absolutely. 11 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was about to be like, I haven't had this much fun at a movie since Free Guy. But, like...
Free Guy was just a couple weeks ago.
I know, but, like, August into September for me has been amazing. The Suicide Squad, Free Guy, and then this have been the last 3 movies we've seen in theaters, right?
Yep.
The
Green Knight we saw, but that...
We'll not talk about that. The 3 big blockbuster movies I've seen, I've loved all 3 of them in a row. Really, really loved them, and this is no different. I'm so excited to see what Simu Liu does with his career. Awkwafina's a little bit more established. Tony Leung, fantastic in this movie. That we'll talk about it in spoilers, but Tony Leung as Wenwu, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Come back for a spoiler chat once you've seen the movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I will say this: as good as Simu Liu is, this movie is not half as good if you don't have Tony Leung's performance as Wenwu in it.
Absolutely.
Like, so much of what makes the final act
so memorable and touching.
And we'll talk about it in spoilers.
Yeah.
I can't finish that sentence without spoiling the movie. So come back for that. And until then, go see the movie. It's in theaters now. You can go watch it. We did. And it was great.
It was great.
If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't like this video, then hit the dislike button. That's why it's there. Leave mean comments down below. The algorithm god is hungry. We must feed her, and she eats mean comments for breakfast. Literally. As always, you can follow us over on Twitch. I'm over at twitch.tv/nerdynightly.
I'm over at twitch.tv/ClarishTakaris.
And as always, my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
Bye.